Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about how to upgrade your mechanical disc brake setup into hydraulic disc brake setups, mainly for your e-bike. This one has hydraulic brake cutoffs built into it. So you can see here, it's got the little output to run to your sensor. We're going to be doing this on a CYC Photon. This will also work with Bafang. It's the same kind of connector. So whether you got a Bafang or a CYC Photon or anything with a 3-pin HiGo, this should work for it. But obviously it should is the general, that's the hopeful term. So let's go into it. I already got the front one installed. This is super easy. There's nothing really to show on this. But you can see how it's all enclosed. There's no bleeding. There's nothing to do. It's literally just taking off the old one and putting this on. It's the rear brake that's a little bit difficult. It's not difficult. It's just, you know, you might need to have a little tutorial. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So it doesn't come as a closed system. It comes open. So you're going to get the caliper over here, and then you got the open end, which is going to go into your lever housing and everything. It's going to go in there, but we'll get to that in a second. So Shane's going to come over here and help me. I'm going to show, I removed the old caliper down here, and now we just need to put this one on. So it comes with this little adapter. We don't need that. So I'm just going to take that off. Different bikes have different setups, and hold on to these parts, these washers, because you might need them to space this out. Now when you're installing this caliper onto here, you want to make sure that the brake pads in here are fully making as much contact with this rotor here as possible. So you'll see, hopefully you'll be able to see. So I'm just going to put that on. And then if I install these bolts on, you don't want this rotor to be hitting any part of this metal frame. Sometimes it will. So I'm gonna tighten this down, and you wanna make sure that these two pads have a little bit of daylight on either side of this rotor. So you gotta like get in there and kind of look. I don't even know if you can see or not, but you know, with my eyes, I kind of can. So you wanna get this pretty much snug down. So I'm just gonna snug it down until it starts to get I'm just getting this bolted down so it's a little snug. So that I could still adjust it with my hand a little bit. And then I'm gonna be looking to making sure there's a little bit of daylight on either side, and then I'm just gonna snug it down. I only see daylight on this side. So you wanna make sure that this is, you know, dialed in. You wanna take care of any issues that you may have. Still only seeing daylight there, so I'm just gonna loosen up both sides. And I'm gonna bump that over a little bit. Okay, that should be pretty good. Now what I'm gonna do is I got the kickstand on. I'm gonna tilt the bike towards me just to get that rear wheel off. You can hear that's still rubbing. So I just want to adjust it. Actually, that's okay for now. I think we'll be okay. Well, I'm just gonna get it roughed in at the moment, and then we're going to go up front. Mainly I just want to make sure that this rotor isn't hitting the metal part of here. If it is, then I need to put some more spacers in there to bump it away from it, but it's not. You would hear it. It'd be going like cling, 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 cling. Next, you want to route your brake cable. This is going to be different for every bike. It's pretty simple. Feed it through the motor housing here. Now that we've got, you got your hydraulic line routed up to where your lever is, this is the moment of truth, okay? So in here is the barb. Right now there's just a little screw here. Hopefully you guys can see that. There's just a screw in here that's just holding the hydraulic fluid in. And then right here, there's another plug. Same thing. This is a 6mm Allen. This is just a tiny Phillips. head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off and I'm going to unscrew this and I'm going to seat them together and tighten them down as fast as I can so no fluid leaks out. Now I want to show you guys the order to do that. And some of you guys may need to shorten this. You may find that, I think this is 1800 millimeters worth of hose. Some of you guys won't need to do anything and you can just run it in and it'll be fine. Some of you may need to cut it because you're gonna have like an extra 200 millimeters or something like that. And what you wanna do is if you do end up cutting it, cut it here, you need to get this barb out or find a replacement barb. And you could just cut that with like a, you know, like a box cutter or something, but you need to reuse this barb and then you're gonna need to shove it in here. It's an integral part of this equation. So once you take this out, you're fine, but if you need to cut it, get the barb out because the olive, which you'll see here in a second, needs something to smash up against. So we're gonna go into our hardware bag. We're gonna get a little rubber boot. We're gonna find our brass olive here. Put that on the floor for safekeeping. And then we're gonna get our little locking thing. It's a locking thing, okay guys? Make sure you have your locking thing. Okay, so order to put this on. We got this. First thing we're gonna do, put the rubber boot on, narrow side first. That is going to cover up this thing, the locking thing, which is going to screw into here. So make sure the threaded side is here. Next goes the olive. So just get that all in there like that. Now it's the moment of truth. So I'm gonna keep this vertical. This helps if you have a friend that you trust. They can do one thing and you can do the other. Okay, and then next, going to undo this. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shove it in there. And try to do this as fast as possible. Okay. And I'm gonna put it in there tight. You want it to go in there as tight as possible. So with one hand, oh, I should have tightened this one down, but I didn't. So with one hand, with this hand here, my left hand, I'm pushing that hose in there, keeping it snug. And then I got that in there finger tight, and I'm gonna take an 8mm wrench. Oops, going the wrong way. And I'm just gonna tighten this. You want this to be really tight. Be careful not to overreach this and break off your sensor because these are really close and you're going to be torquing these down really hard. I've had, not naming any names, but I've had some people in my shop break a few of them. I'm not talking about Shane. I just want to clear that up. But I've had other people do that. Okay. And I'm tightening that down pretty good. I want that olive to seat. That thing ain't coming out. Now that it's on there, you can kind of squeeze it, make sure nothing's coming out. That should be good. But yeah, you really want that to be on pretty tight. Not so tight that you're gonna break it, but and then once that's on, that little boot just goes over it. And that's how it should look. And then you're just gonna wanna get this situated. You might need to get, this is up too high. You want your brake levers to be like this. So you don't want to be putting that strain on your wrists or like this. That's all just strain. You're gonna have wrist fatigue. So you want your arms to be, when you're sitting on it, so sit on it, figure out where your wrists are straight all the way through your hand on your resting position. Like this one's good. This one, look at my hand. Look at that, that's bad. That's gonna be fatigued. That's not good. You get tingling in your hands, you're just not gonna, that's not gonna be good. And you will see that I had to route, maybe Shane, you wanna come over here and show. This cable actually wasn't long enough for this one to route it underneath, so I had to reroute it and go up here. And you guys might need to do something like that. You'd be like, mine isn't, this is a large specialized roll, and the frame geometry is this kind of big. I got handle risers and stuff, so this needs an extra long cable, and it wasn't long enough to go under that way. So I had to route it up and over, and now it fits fine. It's not ideal. I wish it went under, but you know, this is what you got to do custom stuff. And again, on the left side, same thing in reverse. Just want to make sure that this is good. And now that we have this going, we could get this, let's finish that up. I'm going to tighten the handle down so it's easier to work with. Okay, I'm just going to tighten this down momentarily. Okay, now we can come down and get this. I can hear it rubbing. I can pretty much see it rubbing too. I need to move this in closer. And sometimes with hydraulic brakes, you may have luck, a little bit of luck, by loosening these up kind of good, squeezing the brake while this is loose, while your caliper is loose, and then just tightening it down while you're squeezing the brake. Because in theory, it should go. So it's still off a little bit. I still hear a little bit of rubbing. That may go away. You just want to check and see if there's still daylight in there. You should be good. Sometimes a little bit of rubbing will just go away with normal braking. But I could just do this with my hand. And guys, this is like a $89 upgrade for hydraulic brakes. So if you're ever looking for a donor bike, I always tell people, look for something with mechanical disc brakes and then just upgrade them yourself. Because if you buy a bike with hydraulic brakes, you have to use these glue-on sensors. Let me grab one. Right here. You guys see this? You gotta like glue it on with magnets, and it's a mess. And it's never accurate. These things always break off. The magnets or this will always break off. I don't know how many times a week we get calls of people saying, my bike just won't work. It powers on, but it won't go. And I'm like, do you have hydraulic brakes? They're like, yes. I'm like, check your magnets. They're like, they're gone. There you go. So this is a good workaround. You get built-in brake cutoffs, never need to be adjusted. Hydraulic brakes that essentially never need to be adjusted too. Hydraulic brakes adjust themselves on these pads, and you get a lot more stopping power using the same amount of force. So this is a big, good, easy upgrade for 89 bucks, going from mechanical disc brake up to a premium level bike with hydraulic brakes. So if you're looking at a bike like a Trek Marlin or something, you know, they have different trims. The lower trim levels have mechanical disc brakes, and then you're gonna pay like $200-300 extra for hydraulics. Don't do it. Pay 89 bucks and get the ones with the brake cutoffs built in. Tell them I'm excited, because I'm just like, oh, that's a no-brainer. Okay, that's getting way better. And that's probably really close. I can still see a little bit of daylight on this side, not much on here. I could spend all day doing this. Oh, wow, look at that nail in here. I don't know how I told him a flat tire. All right, so I'm gonna put Tannis tire inserts on this. This will be the next video, putting Tannis inserts on there. How did I get here? All right, anyways, yeah, so that's how you do the install on this. Go to johnnynerd.com for all your custom e-bike help components. We sell this on the website. If you need help doing a consultation, if you have one of these and you can't figure it out, book a consultation. I could do a video call with you, and we could do a Zoom call, Google Meet, FaceTime, whatever you want to do, and I could walk you through it in real time, or whatever problem you're having. I could help you get straightened away, or at least get you a lot closer to get straightened away. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.